dreaming back to you since the age of 13. I've been feeding for some meals, I ain't talking Burger King. Start this review by saying I am a very big J. Cole fan. Like, he's probably, out of the new school rappers, J. Cole is probably my favorite. I'm just saying. I think that Born Sinner, his second album, is a near classic album. And I think that his mixtape, The Warm Up, is a classic. And Forest Hills Drive and Friday Night Lights, incredible projects. Cole World and The Come Up are both really, they're on like slightly worse, but they're still really good. And I think that he's a very talented rapper, but I'm gonna shit on this project, so here we go. The previous album before this one was 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and it had a rollout that was pretty similar to the rollout for For Your Eyes Only, which is the project that I'm gonna be reviewing. He released some singles, and he was throwing some shade, calling out people. I think 2014 Forest Hills Drive was mostly about white rappers, and then this more recent one had some shots at Lil Wayne, some shots at Kanye, and a lot of dissing mumble rap, at least during the singles, which did not actually end up appearing on the final album. As much as I love Kanye, his last good project was 6-7 years ago at this point. Like, his last, like, really solid album. And I'm not a huge mumble rap person. Like, obviously, like, I fuck with Lil Yachty, you know, it's boat. But I'm not, it's nothing compared to someone like Kendrick or Cole. And I don't like Wale and Kendrick as much as I actually do like J. Cole. So I was very hyped for this project. I was really excited that Cole was gonna come through. I listened to these singles. I thought, ooh, we're gonna get some more bangers. We're gonna get some like GOMD, Firing Squad, you know, come through, get it right. I was really hyped, and you have to expect a lot from him because like he's one of the new school people. He's arguably the weakest person out of all of like the new good rappers. You know? 98 for his newest album. That's arguably his weakest. Like, the dude's pretty fucking good. So you have to expect a lot from Cole for him to keep up with, you know, Logic, Kendrick, Wale, Chance. Like, be hyped. I stayed up and I bought the album at midnight and I listened to it with my friends as we texted each other about what we thought. Forest Hills Drive was so good. It would be really difficult for him to actually come through with a new project that was like different than that. Like, he would either have to completely change something about his style, or he would have to double down and make every single song a banger, because there's maybe 2 songs on Forest Hills Drive that I think aren't, you know, bangers like they should be, but every other song is fucking lit. So I thought, like, he has to come through and make he has to make even more or change something. And that's what he did. He decided he was going to do something more thematic with it. And I think that I don't blame Cole. I think that that's like a smart endeavor, you know, come through, do something different instead of trying to follow up a very good chart success. The idea behind this project is that he is rapping to the daughter of a friend who died. And the idea behind the project is that the project is for her specifically, so it's like For Her Eyes Only. And that's what the title track is named after. It's named after the album. The only problem is it halfway follows the theme, but it uses the theme as a crutch for not coming through and like beating anything that 2014 Forest Hills Drive or Born Sinner had to offer. And instead, Cole puts a lot of like half effort into songs and doesn't fully come in with like the bangers and the hits that I expected, instead choosing to ignore the theme for particular songs, but then also use the theme as justification for why the songs aren't that great. Like, majority of this album has a lot of songs where I can see the pieces. I can see them all. They're there. Cole has just yet to combine them in a way that makes it good. Like the one song Immortal, like it's not like Cole changed or anything, because me listening to that song, the first thing I think is like, oh, yo, this is like real niggas don't die. Well, I don't even remember the rest of the hook, but that the whole beat, his flow just screamed, I've been fiending for a deal since the age of 13. I've been looking for a meal. I ain't talking burger. Like, it's not like this is something completely different and Cole's not the same MC. It just seems like a really lazy project. And the two biggest hits are Deja Vu and Neighbors. And Neighbors is okay. It has a really interesting concept. I think the story behind it's nice, but just because there's a story behind a song doesn't mean it's an actual good song. And I think the chorus, the neighbors think I'm selling dope, is fucking annoying. It's like a really whiny voice that I don't like at all. I think that if he had come up with a better chorus, I could stand having that song in a playlist. It could get some radio play, you know. It makes sense. I like it. I hate that particular part, but I think Cole comes through a little bit on that. The other really big hit was Deja Vu, which, in the same respect, had a fucking annoying chorus. Put a finger in the air if you wanna. Put two fingers in the air if you wanna. And the title track is pretty interesting. It's not, it's okay. I mean, it's very, very hard to listen to in the beginning, but once Cole actually gets into the flow, it makes sense. But the song starts out with like a really lackluster flow, and it does not sound good up until you get halfway through the song, and by halfway through the song, I'm already like, all right, skip next song. Like, I don't want to sit there and listen to Cole fumble for half a song just to get like 30 seconds of him doing his job. Back to that song Immortal though, because Immortal, I think, is what the album should have been as a whole. It follows the theme of the album. It comes through. In my opinion, it's the best song on the whole album. The production's really good, and it's not a complete departure from what J. Cole has done in the past. So that's what this whole project should have been, but it was not. It's not. Well, then we have Vile Mentality. Fucking Vile Mentality. Then we have Vil Mentality. And Vil Mentality, or Vile Mentality, is sort of like a play on words. The idea, it kind of follows the theme. I see what like they're going for, but that was the song that I heard on the radio where I was in the car with my dad. We were listening to music, and just the beat alone for that song was like, maybe I should give this project another chance, because I listened to it 4 or 5 times the week it came out, and then I just completely erased it from my memory because I wanted nothing to do with For Your Eyes Only. But I heard that song in the car, and the like toms, I think, that alternate out of each ear, that just had me. I was like, oh, okay. All right, Cole, I see you. I'll give it another chance. I think that song is another really, really solid song. Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. The beat's really good. I think it pushes forward the ideas behind the album, and it's really good. But She's Mine Part 1 and Part 2, because this is sort of like a weird middle ground where I don't like these songs. I think that there's some potential here, but it aggravates me that I see all of the potential. I see all of the potential that Cole has going into it, and what like he's going at, and what like the whole point of it is. It's just not executed very well. It doesn't really push forward the theme of the album, and it's not a banger. This is one of those songs where it's like, you could have done so much better. Come the fuck on, dude. I want it to be so much better. And then, you know, Folding Clothes, it's just like, oh, it's a song about a girl. Like, that's what She's Mine Part 1 is too. She's Mine Part 2 is where it's actually a little bit more interesting, for me at least, because Cole will talk about fatherhood, he'll talk about, like, him personally, but I can't suspend my disbelief and pretend that this dude and Cole have such similar lives, and I'm not gonna go around and pretend like I don't know a lot about J. Cole, because I've listened to, I think I can say I've listened to every project he's released. I know about Cole, and that's not about someone else. Those songs are not about a different person. Change. I don't like the woman vocals on the song, but It has a plan, it comes in, it does what it intends to do. Can't blame Cole for that one. But other than the subject matter on Folding Clothes, I really... the beat... So, it has a really, really nice bass line. It has a really, really nice bass line, and I think it has a lot of really pretty attachment pieces to it, but something must have happened with the mix of this song, because the bass line does not sit anywhere in the song, and almost every single part of the beat just clashes in my ears. And the last thing on the album is the title track, and the title track sort of tries to fit the whole thing together, and I think that that's probably the most like heartfelt thing. I think it follows the theme the best. It's in no way a song that's going to get a lot of play because it's very long, but it, you know, it makes sense for in the context of the album. Of course, I wish the rest of the album sort of followed path and it made sense for this song to be at the end, but there's some pretty solid ideas, you know. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing where I listened to it and I wasn't disappointed, but I geared myself up to be disappointed from the get-go, and of course I was disappointed, so it's not like, you know, well, I expected to be let down, but not this badly. I really wish those singles were on the album. I wish the album had either been entirely hits and Cole had just ignored this theme that he did, or the album was connected thematically and he didn't randomly start talking about himself halfway through and random struggle bars everywhere. I have a lot of wishes for this project, but it's not bad. I personally loathe it because I think it's the weakest thing in Cole's discography since his very, very first mixtape, The Come Up. So it has some very stereotypical Cole songs, but with a theme and laziness, and I think I dislike it just because of how much of a Cole fan I am, but it's not as bad as I thought it was when I listened to it the day it came out. So, I think this album is going to be maybe 6 or 7, somewhere falling in that area. It's nothing bad, it's just not, I don't like it very much. So, alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.